Hello everyone and welcome back to Urban Rush. You've been hearing us speaking about cameraless photography all day. Well, now we are going to find out what that actually means.
Well, I know that it has a beautiful result. That's what I know. And Mia Weinberg is a visual artist, and she's going to be telling us about her amazing work. How are you, Mia?
Hi, Mia.
Thank you.
So, cameraless photography. Explain. What is it?
What are we going to ask about that? Or no? What is it?
I started working in the darkroom and used translucent objects instead of film negatives in the enlarger. So instead of using film, I passed light through the actual plants.
Right onto
the photographic paper. Yes.
Really? And was this something that someone had sort of shown you was possible, or did you?
Oh, I was experimenting with making my own negatives using the photocopier, and then I was working with maps, and then I found a leaf skeleton and thought it's like a map, I can try this, and went from there.
And sometimes in the world we live in, we just look past things that are small and never look at them up close. And sometimes it's so amazing when you have a look at a flower or leaf up close, how intricate and beautiful it is. Is that what drew you to it?
Yes, that's part of it. The things that we don't notice, and that I have a science background but not in biology, so I don't really know what's inside plants, and I get fascinated by the discovery of what's really there.
Do you have a background as a photographer?
Not really.
I love it.
Or a gardener, and yet. No. Oh, so funny. So this was just experimentation all the way through for you. I mean, it wasn't necessarily that you had a background in or were leaning towards.
No, I really like the element of discovery and not knowing what I'm going to find. That to me is part of the excitement, is whenever I explore a plant, I have no idea what's going to come out.
And was it plants by default, or was that something that you were drawn to, or did it cameraless photograph the best?
I think it was because I started with leaf skeletons and that connection between the urban landscape and the natural structures and those similarities, and then I just kept going with different plants. I also work with insects as well sometimes. So.
I saw the insects. What we're looking at right now looks a little bit like an insect, but it is a hydrangea, is that right?
Yes.
Maybe you can tell us a little bit about this little fella right here and how you find the right way, I guess, to capture it.
Well, part of the fun for me is that when I go out for a walk, I'm looking for things. So this was from Stanley Park. They have a lot of hydrangeas there, and certain times of the year you can find the skeletonized ones. And yes, I see what comes out.
Are they always dry?
Not always. I have worked with live plants. I did a tulip once, and I captured it every day for 3 days as it dried. So
it's interesting.
Well, it's amazing because you get detail that you obviously can't see just holding it up with your naked eye. And what's this one?
This is an iris.
I'm trying to be gentle so that I don't wreck it. There we go.
Yeah, it looks like a painting. I mean, it has a
really
certain painterliness to it. Obviously not the right term,
no,
but it really does.
The right term, and I really like that term because I've always wanted to be a painter, but I'm painting with light, basically.
And when I was looking at some of your images on your website and the ones we're looking at right now, if you didn't know they were flowers, they really could be anything. I mean, some of them look like images just floating and what have you. Does it surprise you what comes out sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does, and I find them really beautiful, and particularly the dead ones. I find there's actually a lot more motion in dead flowers. As they dry, they sort of twist and turn with the drying.
Looking for beauty in death. I love it.
Yeah, that's right. Aren't we all?
And what is this guy here?
That's hyacinth.
Yes.
And again, I had no idea what I was going to find.
Well, and just another, just beautiful example of what comes out when you do this. I mean, nature sort of does it in a really beautiful way, doesn't it, without the human hand sometimes.
And that's what I like to feel like I'm a facilitator for the plants to create their own images rather than trying to dictate what the image is going to be.
And I see what you mean by waiting until they're somewhat dried or dead.
Yes.
That even the stem and everything gets a little more life
a bit more
to it.
character.
Yeah.
It does, and it's got a texture to it, and this one here does as well. Where did you find this guy?
Oh, this was just down the street on Nelson Street, so there's some trees there. In the spring they have flowers, and this was just lying on the ground, and I thought, okay, what can I do with this?
It looks like the Milky Way. It looks like Starscape.
I guess people can see whatever
reason.
They want into it, too.
Yes. Yeah. Is this did you use a slightly different method on this one, or do you use a slightly different method on all of them, or on different ones?
It's a similar method, and it just really depends on the particular plant, because this has the solid petals, whereas the other ones had more where you could actually, light went through them.
Are you surprised at the outcome sometimes when you do pick up something and what you end up with as the final result?
Yes, always surprised. And I once tried an orchid, and it didn't really work very well, and I think mainly they're
ugly. Why didn't it work very well?
It was the petals were too thick, and so that light didn't go through them, and so some things work and some don't.
It just came out. Do you grow your own stuff? I mean,
no, I tend to find them in other people's gardens or on the street or in the park.
And your friends now bring you things?
Yeah. Oh yes, my nephews send me a jar with bugs in them or dead plants.
I think it was a daddy longleg I saw on the website.
Yeah, it was a crane fly.
A crane fly.
Oh yeah, well the bugs, I mean, it's the same idea. They just, they have such a beautiful shape and emotion to them.
Well, your stuff is absolutely amazing, Mia. Thank you for sharing it with us. And if you want to go look at it up close, you certainly can. An exhibit of cameraless photography, now that we know what it is. Artwork of Mia Weinberg is at the Fish House in Stanley Park until April the 29th. And you can go to her website to find out more about her as an artist and see her beautiful work. Thank you, Mia.
Thanks, Mia. We really appreciate you stopping by. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about the 3rd annual Women in Film Festival. It's happening starting this weekend, and we're going to talk about a great film as well. It's called Strong Coffee, the story of Cafe Feminino, right after this.